When light decreases, we are not on equal ground with certain representatives of the animal world. Even if we are mammals, with certain species close to us, the differences in night vision are considerable. Most vertebrates can see in the dark. Their eyes have a structure, the tapetum lucidum, which allows them to increase the amount of light captured by the retina. It is this structure which makes eyes shine when hit by light. But not only mammals can see at night.
To see at night, nocturnal birds of prey have three major characteristics. The first is eye size, very important to nocturnal birds of prey. So, by increasing the size of the eye, this increases the number of photons of light that will enter the eye, and so they'll perceive more light. Then there is the size of the pupil. Increased pupil size also increases the number of photons that will enter the eye and attain the retina, resulting in better vision in low light intensities. The final characteristics are the rods that allow seeing at night when there is little light intensity. And for these three reasons, nocturnal raptors can see very well at night, at least compared to diurnal raptors and humans.
In the day, guided by reference points, we are able to follow a direction without any difficulty. But at night, we have much more difficulty in finding our way. The infrared camera attached around Leia's waist reveals that her progression is considerably less assured. Our night vision is not very efficient compared to that of a cat that has a 6 to 8 times greater vision in the dark than we do. However, our night vision slightly improves when we remain in the dark, thanks to the effect of rhodopsin, a light-sensitive pigment that takes up to 45 minutes to regenerate in humans, then allowing maximum sensitivity. No eye, however sophisticated, is able to see in total darkness. All eyes in the animal world function with light, and even a cat is unable to see in complete darkness. But one nocturnal animal has sidestepped this problem, seeing with its ears. Cyril Schambachler is passionate about bats, an animal that lives at night and that we know little about.
Here we're hearing the common pipistrelle, which is hunting, because that sound is very fast. Sometimes you really hear an acceleration, and that's what we call a hunting buzz, when it's going to capture an insect. There's a second or less with no noise, then it's swallowing, and then it starts emitting again. There was a buzz.
The speed of bat movements and the absence of light makes them difficult to observe. To understand them, you need a trained and attentive ear. Cyril has, over the years, learned to see with his ears.
The detector I have allows making ultrasound audible. What is fascinating with the acoustics is that alone in the dark we see nothing, we don't see bats, we hear them. We can determine the species and what it is doing. We know if it is just transiting, if it is hunting, if it has captured something, all thanks to sound and without seeing anything.
If we can't see them well, how do they see? Are they able to use their eyes?
In fact, bats have eyes that are perfectly functional. They see perfectly. Simply, their eyes are tiny, and echolocation, not vision, is their most developed sense. There have been experiments where they were blindfolded and even their eyes removed, but they could still find their way without a problem, and that was in fact the first realization that they had another sense that we knew nothing about. They emit ultrasound, most by the mouth, some by the nose, and the ultrasound will hit an obstacle. This obstacle could be prey, could be us, could be a wall, a tree. Then the echo will be analysed by the brain, and you have to imagine that bats build an image of their environment in black and white, but in 3 dimensions. The horseshoe bat is able to detect a thread thinner than our hair. They have completely phenomenal precision in their ultrasound, and they have a 3-dimensional map of their environment. Their ultrasound goes so fast that they adapt, even when flying at enormous speed in the treetops, for example. They can go very, very fast in completely crowded environments where we wouldn't even advance a meter.
Thanks to rapid and directional sound waves that bounce off the surrounding objects and return to their ears by echoes, bats perfectly determine the space in which they evolve. Echolocation allows them to avoid fixed obstacles with ease and speed. And even when it comes to moving obstacles, like a fellow bat, they show extreme precision in avoiding each other.
All rhinolophs emit by the nose, and they have this very particular horseshoe-shaped nose sleeve that allows them to concentrate their ultrasound. And their large ears are like 2 large satellite dishes that can move separately, so they are extremely accurate. So depending on their habitat, based on their prey, they have different types of ultrasound and different emission intensities too. It has been calculated that the Leisler bat has a maximum emission strength that's almost as intense as the sound of a plane taking off. So good thing it's ultrasound, otherwise it would be painful to us. We even think that they actually use this power to audibly knock out their prey. They send out a very, very strong cry, and it knocks out the butterfly.
If all bats do not practice echolocation, those who do have turned the use of their ears into a second form of vision, acoustic vision.
It's because of their acoustics that bats have a 3-dimensional vision of their environment. So yes, we can say that this is an acoustic vision. In fact, they have an image like ours, but in black and white and with the volumes, very accurate volumes, all of the bumps, everything, but not thanks to eyes, but to sound.
For feeding or moving in the dark, the bat isn't the only one that can see without using its eyes. Most snakes have very good vision during the day, but when it gets dark, some, including rattlesnakes, boas, and pythons, have infrared vision. Organs between the eye and the nostril, called pit organs, take over. By capturing infrared radiation, they allow these snakes to perceive the heat present in their immediate environment. These organs are essentially sensitive to wavelengths of 5 to 30 micrometers. Humans give off heat in the form of infrared radiation at around 10 micrometers. These snakes can easily detect us at night. This thermal vision is not perceived by the eye, but nevertheless forms a picture in their visual cortex. Pit organs have 2 functions. They allow these reptiles to identify places where they can warm themselves, and they allow hunting warm-blooded animals. At night, when the thermal differences between prey and surrounding temperatures increase, the hunt is easier. A rattlesnake can sense a mouse 40 centimeters away. When we gave Leia a thermal camera, she can perfectly distinguish the sources of heat in her environment. The hottest areas range from yellow to white, and the colder from blue to black. Our daily lives in infrared vision would thus be very different.